Hey guys, what's up? We are back with some more Mass Effect. I think this is part, let's see, 6? No, wait, 5. But this is part 5. Um, we are, for one, if I'm wrong, the title, like the thumbnail, will say what part this is. But last time we left off, we did 2 missions. We did, whoops, that's not what I want to look at. We found Liara, and we saved, colony that the Geth were attacking, and we found out that Saren was trying to take control of a plant that they were researching, or a plant that they found on that planet where it can read minds, or not read minds, control minds. And we also got the cipher for the visions we've been having. So we're gonna be next up. We're gonna be tackling the last of the 3 missions that we were given when we became Spectre, and this was Council has received reports of the Geth in interest in the corporate research colony of Nova, and pretty much Council needs to know why. So let's see. Go to Novera.
Good timing, Commander. We got a
let's find
transmission
where.
coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Okay, we gotta talk to the Citadel.
I'll take it in the comm room.
Okay, did we not end the stream with the conference with
Commander
the Citadel?
Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
Now you're helping me. Good.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander.
Okay.
But they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
Why wasn't I told? And sounds serious.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications.
So I'm wondering.
Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
Vermeer.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer.
So
Good luck, Commander Shepard.
is this
We will
just
keep
adding
you
another
advised if we learn
quest,
anything else.
or is this like a time-sensitive quest? So let me see. You received word that Solarian reconnaissance team on Vermeer has information about Saren. The message was unclear, and the Council fears the team is in danger. Race against time. Saren's. So we got 2. Saren is searching. Oh wait, this is where we ended off last time. Saren is searching for the conduit, and the conduit, an ancient relic dating back to the Prothean extinction. Though the visions blurred in your mind by the beacon of Eden, you believe the conduit is a weapon capable of wiping out all life in the galaxy. Saren must be stopped. So right here, yeah, I think okay, actually these two have the same place. So I think I'm gonna go here. Let me mute my phone real quick. We'll go here, and that also leads crosses one place off of this. Oh wait, no. This actually links with both of these. I actually don't know if these are timed. Like if the mission we just got is just added on or what. So let's just zoom out. Let's actually head here. We'll head to this system, and we'll do the investigating at the Geth. Hopefully, we can find some more clues. I'm gonna assume that mission that they just gave us, we can do after this.
Commander, urgent message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command. We've got a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
How
What
can
do
I
you
help?
need, Admiral?
There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live fire simulations. One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Are you telling me this computer is thinking on its own?
We're not stupid, Shepard. This is a virtual intelligence, not a true AI. It's not self-aware, and it can't access any external systems. We didn't do anything illegal here. Virtual intelligence support is critical to our military success. VIs process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds.
So this is just
No
gonna give me
human can
another
do that.
quest.
We need you to fight your way through the training ground of the VI core and manually disable it.
Can't you disable it remotely?
Our fail-safes aren't responding. The VI operates on a closed network. It can affect any external systems, but we don't have any direct access to its processes. We could bomb it from orbit, but the damage to the facility would be catastrophic. We'd prefer to have someone shut down the core. Someone like you. I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
So that's gonna be on the back burner for now. We have other missions to do. We'll kind of do them in order. So we're gonna do the 3 that we got earlier. We'll go to the place where
Approach control. This is the SSV Normandy.
they
requesting a vector
sent
and a berth.
us, and we'll do that.
Arrival was not scheduled. Our defense grid is armed and tracking you. State your business.
Citadel business. We got a Council Spectre aboard.
Landing access granted, Normandy. Be advised, we will be confirming identification on arrival. If confirmation cannot be established, your vessel will be impounded.
What a fun bunch. I think I'll take my next leave here.
Alright. So let us head out. Is this the exit? I always lose where the exit is. I'm hoping this is the right way. Yes, but actually, wait. I think this is where the one guy is. No.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Before we go through there, I want to see if I can find that one guy who we were talking to at the start of during part 1.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren
Let me turn this
is
up a
training
bit.
people to aliens for some kind of lost knowledge. but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming.
Yeah.
Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to Element Zero in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids.
Just there in this.
But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Alright. So I am looking for the ship area. Like the ship dock, I think. No, not the ship dock. The area with where the car is. And I don't want to accidentally go out because I think I can. I think this is. Okay, so I was right. So this is where we're supposed to go. I want to see if I could buy some more grenade. Some more grenade slots. Because we could have used it in that last mission. And oh my god.
Looking for supplies?
That was...
Let's see what you've got.
That was a pain when we ran out. Guns. No. I don't think we have enough to buy any of this. Nope. Since we're here, let's talk with Garrus.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at C-Sec.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At C-Sec, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But C-Sec wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. C-Sec's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec.
I mean, we're new as a
Either way,
Spectre.
I plan to make the most of this.
And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Just do a good job and don't get in my way. We'll get along fine.
Not what I meant to do.
Don't worry, Commander. I'll keep clear.
That was not the... I wanted to do something, do a different choice.
Commander,
I decided to take a
you
water.
have a minute to talk.
Or drink
I
of my
keep an
water.
open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Because they're aliens? What do you mean? Because they're not Alliance.
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
Yeah.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Sir! No, sir. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
So I do know something about Ashley. Excuse me. Is that she's not a fan of aliens from, like... So I've seen, like, breakdowns of, like, the characters and all that. Like, YouTube videos, and they've said, like, the choice between Kaidan and Ashley is... A lot of people choose Ashley just because Kaidan's boring. And they're like, well... But when they broke down, like, Ashley's character, I don't remember all of it. All I remember was that Ashley's not a fan of the other species.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on, short one. Don't be an ass. Have it your way.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
Of course it is, isn't it? Sure it is.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
So what? Not exactly, I see your point.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject, I won't.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight.
We're just getting some background on
So we
Rex.
leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So kind of like what he does with the
What
Shadow
can you
Keeper.
tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Yeah.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Well, we actually got a lot of XP from Rex. So we'll do some talking really
Hey,
quick.
Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll get rid of her. I'll talk to her.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
So we're gonna
You got
switch
an eye
up the
for
team
talent, Commander,
a bit
but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
because I do want to try and get the other trophies.
I want to
So
know
we're gonna
more about
switch
the
out.
Normandy.
She's the
We already
best
got the
ship I've
ones
ever
for
served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever
Garrus
designed.
and
She's the only one
Rex
using the new Tantalus
on our
drive
team.
core.
So I think we're gonna
What's
bring
so
out
special about the
Tally
Tantalus drive core?
and
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any
Liara.
other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it.
And I think
Everything from
it was like
dreadnoughts and
do 5
carriers
missions.
right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship.
I don't even
Couldn't
know
hold
where
a candle
Liara
to the
is.
Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
So let's talk to Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug
The
ship
big
in
thing about
flotilla.
this is
Now,
the
I'm
human
sitting
race
on board
didn't
one of the most advanced vessels
really
in Citadel space.
have much until
I have to thank you
they
again for
discovered.
bringing me along.
I think they said they
Traveling on a
discovered
vessel like
Prothean
this is a
technology
dream
on
come
Mars.
true for me.
Are you into ship?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet
So I wonder
is
if,
the key to the
like, the
survival
better
of
our
my
conversation
people.
goes, the more
Ships
XP
are
we
our
get
most
too.
valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla.
So pretty much
grow our own food, mine, and
they-
process our own fuel.
Like their stuff,
But some things we
they'll
just
like
can't
just
make
patch
on
it
our
until
own.
it's no good.
A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants
So
to
I
accept
think
someone who
what
will
we'll
be a
do
burden
is
on
when we
So,
end
to prove our
and we
worth,
got
we
the
embark on
what's
a
it called
pilgrimage. We set out alone,
the missions done. We'll
leaving the
talk real
flotilla
quick to
and our
our
families
crew,
behind us.
and
We
that's how
only
we'll end it.
return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a
Because
gift to the captain.
the
of
original plan was
respective
just to try and
ship
see if
we
I could
wish
buy
to
more
join.
grenade slots.
If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer.
I actually kind of remember
every
this story of
pilgrimage
it.
ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I think they
I want to talk about something else.
Like
they
what?
mentioned it on in Mass Effect 2,
I want to know more
like a
about the
different
gift.
version of it.
I doubt
I know
can
they
tell you
talk
anything
about
you don't already know.
her
It's been almost 3
pursuit,
centuries since they drove my people into exile.
If it gets punctured, she could get sick.
All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so
This sounds just like what
so
we were hearing about that
gradual, that we were able to control them.
Lion Space.
Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many
So pretty
of the
much
Geth's
the Geth
logic
is
systems
like a
were
hive.
designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming
like
cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose?
Oh no.
As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
There's like a switch. Just one. It just takes one.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth.
Okay, so they.
The Geth
Hey Rage, how's it
responded to
going?
this order violently.
What did you expect? So right now we're just talking to our crew, and this is actually I never really thought about the Geth story, even though in Mass Effect 2 Legion is one of my favorite characters. I never really thought about like the whole backstory of the Geth.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
So... I don't like either of these two answers. I'm just... Why do they... Been playing Darkest Dungeon, and that game has been extremely difficult and extremely fun. I've seen people play it, and it does look like fun. Isn't it like a roguelike where if your character dies, you can get a new character or something like that? Because I know it's like a party of 3 and you just kind of go through fights. That's all I've seen is the fights, and those can be brutal. I feel they just defended themselves is less brutal, is like less rude than serves them right. Yeah, it's permadeath. That I've looked at it every now and then, and when it's on sale, I'm like, if I have the money, I've considered it, but I'm like, I've never really pulled the trigger.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped
both
us
those
out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed
like,
every organic
really
being who's ever tried to contact them?
Okay, you're right. I'm not surprised.
I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. Most Quarians tend to have pretty strong opinions about the Geth.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on
I think we've already done this one.
Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians.
Yeah, I think we're going through this
and each
dialogue
of us
again.
relies on the others for survival.
But yeah, I constantly do see that that game on sale.
Unfortunately,
and I think there are like
we
a
have
few
had
DLCs
to
for it
surrender many
too.
of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Oh wait, no, this is
Well,
different.
It's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births. Though
That
the
is-
Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
So that that is interesting. I mean, it makes sense if they're trying to keep their they're trying to not have overpopulation, but at the same time not like fall into extinction. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting some of the DLCs, but for now I'm just playing the base game. So is there like a story to the Darkest Dungeon, or is it just like pretty much okay, here's my party, let's go into the dungeon?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military
There's a
officials
story,
in the fleet
but I
serve
haven't
on the
gotten too
Admiralty
far into
Board.
it. Okay.
These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of
Yeah, the only
emergency.
thing I've seen about the Darkest Dungeon
To do
is
so requires
like the
unanimous
fights, and I know that
among
they
the
can
Admiralty. And they
can be brutal.
only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Okay, think that's all.
I should go.
See you later.
Okay, so it does look like the more conversation you have, the higher or the more XP you get. Also, level up. I do that. Yes. Even though I barely go to stores, yeah, let's go for those discounts. So this gives me increased barrier duration for 12 seconds. Music. Okay, I think I want the barrier. Let me unlock stasis. Yeah, I think we're good for now. Honestly, I try and keep my charm up just for the new dialogue options, and also if I do need to go to the store, we can get some discounts. Alright, so I think that's all here. The only one we haven't talked to is Liara. This elevator is going slow. Which I actually do not know what she is. It's Kaden. Wait. It says there's someone here. She's not in a cryopod, is she? Oh yeah, it says there's something there, but... That is... Wait, maybe over here? No, that's a doctor. Oh, there she is. I was like, it says I'm right on her. Why? Or right on the spot.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds
It is really interesting.
Out loud.
Like, I don't remember
like
everything from Mass Effect 2, but from what I remember, like just seeing
all
how
children
some of
rebel
the
against
stuff
their parents.
started.
It's a natural part of growing up.
You share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Don't try and study me.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No! I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Don't. There's the option again. Don't try to study me. I wasn't serious or relax.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events.
We know...
Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
All we know from before was that she joined Saren to try and change him, but Saren kind of manipulated her and like outsmarted her from the other person we talked to at the end of after that big plant fight.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
Yeah,
We
the
were
Asari that we got
first species
talked to
discover
at
the
the
Citadel.
end of the
We were instrumental in forming the
plant
council,
mission.
and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
That's disgusting. Investigate.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
I was about to ask what about their sons, but I just remembered they said male, female doesn't really matter.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
You can do that? Or you don't know who? I'm trying to figure out what this statement means by you can do that. Does it mean like Asari and Asari? Let's just go with you don't know who.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species.
Okay.
Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
How could anyone abandon their own child?
I cannot answer that. This is
So-
all speculation on my part. It is possible she wanted to be part
By
of my
their
life,
beliefs,
but something
if
happened to her before she had the chance.
they go with other
Benezia
species,
never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much
there's
pain
like
to
just
dwell
at
on
least
it.
some
She
type of
raised me
knowledge
by
gained.
herself, though that is not uncommon.
but if they go with the same
Many Asari raise their
species,
children
no
alone,
knowledge is
particularly
gained.
if the
So
father
knowledge
species is
is
short-lived.
strength.
Often the
In this
partner will
case,
pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
who's your father?
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I'm gonna try asking, see what happens.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
Oh, it's just
She
gonna
rarely spoke of her partner.
do the same. Okay.
Though I know my father,
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
union with our own kind is no longer common.
Why?
Not for the purposes of
Maybe because there was a
reproduction.
second dialogue on
Most
there.
Asari believe it weakens our species.
That's why it's still there.
Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a
Okay.
pure blood.
Why
It
can't
is
I skip
possible,
this?
Benezia. I cannot
Oh,
answer that.
How do I do that?
This is
Oh, square.
I should go.
Square.
Goodbye, Shepard.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know I could skip. Okay, so we've talked to everyone on the crew. Now, how do I get off my ship? Actually, you know what? We're hitting the hour mark. This is what we'll do. So, when we're gonna end it here, I'm gonna take a quick BRB. I'm just gonna label this as part 3.5 because we didn't get to really do a mission. So, on the collections, this will be part 3.5. Just talking with the crew. So should I start off the stream or like the part like that? We'll just have it as a half part. But for those of you watching in collections, part 3, like the full 3, wait, actually 2.5. Oh my god, my brain's hurting. This is not part 3, this would be part 5, so this would be 4.5. Ah, my head hurts. This is so confusing. I'll figure this out after. But I can take a quick BRB and we'll actually start the mission. Even Shepard's like, come on, I want to shoot things. So those of you watching the collections, the action is in this next part. So I'll see you guys in